Hello, my friends. Bella Maldonado here, and today we are going to be crafting. I'm going to teach you how to turn these plain old white candles into something amazing. So these candles are just plain white pillar candles. These particular ones were from Target, but as long as they're, a wax candle, it'll work perfectly fine. And I like pillar candles because there's a lot of space for you to put an image on. And in a nutshell, all you need to do is just find an image that you like. And of course, if this is something that you're planning to sell, make sure that you have purchased the proper license for any image that you use. And you print that image on tissue paper, and then you transfer that image onto the candle. Yes, you heard me correctly, print on tissue paper. And if you have a regular old inkjet printer at home, you too can print on tissue paper. But what I would like to do is to customize a candle that I can use for my tarot readings. And you guys can do that too. Just look for an image, or you can draw an image yourself and scan that in and print it out. There's all sorts of things that you can do. If there's any particular quotes that you'd like to put on a candle, you can put a quote on a candle. If it's printable, then you can put it on a candle. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So first, let's talk about the supplies that we'll be needing. So if you have a home printer, I have an inkjet printer, not sure how it would work with laserjet printer. You'll need printer paper. You will need masking tape or washi tape, wax paper, and a hair dryer. So I think for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to throw together an image in Canva, but you can pretty much use any image editing software. It doesn't have to be Canva. And it doesn't even have to be an image editing software application. Heck, you can do this in PowerPoint if you want to. Again, like I mentioned, as long as you can print it from somewhere and size it up according to the dimensions of your candle, you can use whatever you want. So I think what I'm going to do is, just for the demonstration, I'm going to use the back of this candle because there's still a lot of room left. And I actually have used this candle. You can see it melting down a little bit here. But the other side seems to be pretty intact. So let's just measure this to see what size image we're going to be needing here. So we'll start from here. So it's about 5 inches tall. And I would say maybe 3 inches would be good. Yeah, so let's find something that's 3 by 5 to cover this other side of the candle. Okay, so right now we are in Canva, and you just go to canva.com, and I have the free account. I don't have the pro. There's plenty of things you can do with the free account, including getting an image for your candle. So let's go ahead and go to create a design. Now, when I measured my candle, it was 3 by 5 inches. So I'm going to hit custom size and change pixel to inches and put 3 for my width, 5 for my height, and create new design. So now we have to find a design. Now, one thing you can do is you can click on elements, and you can look for designs in Canva. So I'll just type tarot, see what comes up. So there are some designs that come up. So if you wanted something like this, for example, on your candle, you could use that. Or let's see, what else do they have? There's a bunch of images, but the ones that say pro, that means that you need to have the pro account that you're paying for. So you can't really use those. They'll have watermarks on them. And especially if you're going to make something that you want to sell for commercial use, you want to make sure that the license is correct. So this one's free because it doesn't have the little crown icon next to it. So if you wanted to put a little sun card on your candle, you can totally do that. And This looks like it's not a pure black, so if you wanted it to be really black instead of just that dark gray color, you can click here and change it to black, or you can change it to whatever color you like. So, you know, that's cute. Oh, it's cute. Let's also check, there's a website that I like to look through called Vecteezy. And you can find some vector images in here. You can also search by other things, photos, PNGs, videos, whatever. Vectors I find have more of an illustrative style, and the lines are clean. And that's something good that you can use for candles, or anything that you want a nice clean image for. So I'm going to type tarot here and see what comes up. And on the left, under filters, I want to make sure that I'm switching it from all license types to free license. And when I hover over free license, you'll see that it says these files are free for use with attribution. So, as long as you give credit to the artist, you should be okay. Again, I'm not using any of this for commercial use. I'm not selling my candles. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes for you guys, just so that you can have a fun craft to work on. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to look for free images here. Now these are cool, but because there's so many of them, each individual card will probably be a little tiny, and I'm not sure if the quality is going to degrade if I try to make the image bigger. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, this is kind of cool. The tarot card with the crystal on it. That's something that maybe we can use. What else do we have? There's a little sun card. That's cute. All right, I don't want to be scrolling forever because this is not a tutorial on how to search for images. This is to show you how to put an image on a candle. Oh, what about her? I like her. Oh, we can put her on the candle. She's got her little witchy hat and her tarot card with an eye on the back of it. I like this. I'm digging this. Okay. So let's grab this image. So it says here, free download, attribution required. So our artist is gstudioimagen. Let's click on that and see what other sorts of artwork they have here. So this artist has quite a variety here. Okay, so yeah, let's go with gstudioimagen. Let's go back and download. Okay, and I will download this on my desktop. Hit save. Okay, and it looks like it saved it as a zip file. So let me go ahead and let's open up that zip file. Okay. There she is. All right, so we'll go back to Canva, and on the left where it says uploads, we're going to upload our new image. So, witch with tarot card, that's what we want. We'll grab the JPEG, open. So now she shows up in my Canva account, and now if I just click on her, she will move over to my blank canvas over here. So I want her to take up as much space of that 3x5 as possible. So I'm just going to extend these handles so that our image gets a little bigger. All right, I think we're good. So I'm going to save this by hitting the share button and clicking on download. I'm going to leave it with the suggested PNG file type and click on download. Okay, and I'm just gonna put witch with tarot card. Okay. So here's the image that I just saved in Canva with the size, the exact size that I need, 3 by 5. So now what I want to do is I'm going to print this on regular paper first, just to make sure that the sizing works, that the colors look okay, that everything is fine. And then once our little test print looks okay, then we'll go ahead and print it on tissue paper. Okay, so now that we have our print out, let's cut it out and prop it up against the candle just to make sure that sizing is okay. But you know what? It looks pretty good. Let me go get those scissors. I'm just gonna cut it just so that we can make sure that this is the right size for our candle. And again, you know, we don't have to be too precise about this simply because this is just for testing purposes, and this is not the actual thing that we are going to be putting on the candle. But I want to get a general idea of how it's going to look. Okay, so earlier I said that we would use printer paper, but you know what? I think we're going to use cardstock, because cardstock will just give us a more steadier base to work with. So here's some tissue paper that I grabbed from my stash of holiday gift wrapping. And I'm just going to lay this down as flat as possible. And then I'm going to grab my cardstock. So I think I'll put it here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to cut the tissue paper. I'm going to cut the tissue paper probably along here and here, just with a little bit of a margin so that I can fold the tissue paper over the cardstock and tape it down. I think that should give us enough space to fold it over. And then leave enough on the side so we can fold that over as well. Okay, so let me remove the excess tissue paper. And the cardstock that I'm using, I believe, is 110 pounds. So just to give you an idea of the thickness, just flicking that a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my masking tape. And I'm just gonna fold this over. And tape it on there. So now that this is taped down, we are going to pass this through the feeder, not through the regular tray. We're going to do it through the feeder in the back, and we're going to print it just like we would print anything else. Okay, so we've got our cardboard with our tissue paper, our cardstock with our tissue paper, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the feeder. Okay, and when I send it to print, I need to make sure that I print it and make sure I tell it to use the rear tray. So on my software, I have to go to Media and Quality, Feed From, and choose Rear Tray. All right, and I'm just gonna leave everything else the same. I'll leave it as normal quality. It's already set to color, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hit print and see what happens. All right, let's see if it takes in the paper from the rear tray. without any kind of paper jams. All right, it went in. This is so exciting. And you never know about this because sometimes I'll put it in the printer and the paper will tear, the tissue paper will tear, but it's not often. I feel like that only happened to me once. Other times I've been really good about using the masking tape and making sure it's nice and tight and nothing tears, and most of the time it works out pretty well. The suspense is killing me. I think it worked. I think we did good here. Hey, not bad. That, my friends, is how you print on tissue paper. All right, so we will carefully remove the mask, although we don't actually have to do it that carefully because even if we rip it apart, this is all we need. So I'm just gonna tear it apart like an animal. And, I say that and then I just freak out and want to do everything very delicately. But you have your choice of how delicate or savage-like you want to do this. So now I'll take out the cardstock, and I'm just going to quickly cut this just to get rid of the masking tape so that I don't accidentally tape over my image. So let's just cut this out. Look how nice. Can you believe it? Printing on tissue paper? What? That's absurd. But it's doable. Okay, so now is when we're going to be careful and cut as close to the edge as possible. And, again, you don't have to be super careful because once the tissue paper adheres to the white candle, because you're using white tissue paper, it really does an excellent job of blending in. So I'll just get as close as I can and do it as neatly as possible. As long as your tissue paper color matches the color of your candle, you don't have to worry too much about the edges showing. Okay, here's our lady, our tarot witch lady. All right, she is cut, and now we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Now we just have to get the wax paper, get that for the candle, and you'll see how the whole process works. So now I'm gonna get my wax paper and measure out, just by putting the candle up to here, how much paper I'm gonna need. So just to give you an idea of what needs to happen is, let's say this is the tissue paper. Let's say this is already on here on top of the candle. So the idea is to cover this with wax paper and give yourself a little bit on the end to hold on to the paper, because what you're going to do is you're going to blow dry this whole thing, and you're going to use the heat to help adhere the tissue paper to the wax candle. Okay, so I'm going to maybe cut the paper around here. That should give me enough to hold on to. So the idea would be for me to hold on to it like this while the tissue paper image is on this side. And a good tip is to use some kind of a kitchen glove. This is a heat glove, that you use for the kitchen. So I'm just gonna grab this because when you use the blow dryer, it gets really, really hot. Okay, so what we do is we take our tissue paper, and this is where, let me just center this and then just lay that there on the candle. Then we're gonna put the wax paper here Actually, let me just move it over just a smidge, because again, I want to give myself enough paper. Did I move it? I think I moved it. Okay. I just want to give myself enough paper to hold on to. So let's put this down like this, and then grab this tight. And now we're just going to blow dry this area. And you'll see how it looks a little faded because we have the piece of paper on top. But once we apply the heat, you'll start seeing some of the color showing through a lot stronger. And when you see the image appear a lot clearer, that's when you know that we're very close to finishing. So let me grab the blow dryer, which is around here somewhere. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to apply kind of like a medium. Okay, I had to do the rest of it in the bathroom because it kept shorting out at my desk. So I finished in the bathroom. You can see that the image is very clear now. There aren't any big white spots that might be missing. Now, sometimes if you apply too much heat, the candle might also melt as well. So you have to be careful, and that's why it's important to make sure that you just dry it evenly, go in different spots. Don't stay focused on any one particular place. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for the big reveal? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let me take this glove off. Oh my God. I'm sweating inside this glove. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to peel this back slowly. Slowly. Check it out, you guys. Look at this. Look how gorgeous. Look how gorgeous. And see, I'm trying to put it as up close as possible, and you can't see the tissue line, the tissue paper line anywhere. It just blended in perfectly with that candle. Isn't that amazing? So now we have our own custom candle with our little witchy tarot reader. And anytime I want to do a tarot reading, I'm just gonna bring her out and light her up. Are you ready for a tarot reading?